What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another GTA 5 car mod review. I know it's been a while since I last made one of these, but I was feeling like getting in the mood for some GTA 5 again, so I fired the game up, updated it, installed my basic needs of mods, and added a car. The car in question is, if you can't already see it, it's an Audi RS5 from 2011. It has over 500 horsepower, a twin turbo V8, and yeah, it's pretty freaking badass in my opinion. Now the plan for today is, as always, we're going to be checking out the car in its stock form. Then we'll be tuning it, or we're going to check it out in its stock form, then tune it, see what kind of options we have, and afterwards we'll take it for another drive and see how it is fully tuned out. And that will just be it for this video, I guess. So without further ado, let's just quickly get out of the car here and walk around it. Now, as you can see, this thing is pretty nice, very detailed. Look at the interior, very nicely done. Good attention to detail. Has these pretty stock Audi wheels on there. Not a huge fan of those, but hey, what are you going to do about it? Has the older Audi grille. Some of you might know the newer Audis, they have a more squared grille, so that's a bit different. Keep in mind this car is already a few years old. Very nice coupe though. They've announced the newer version of this car, so hopefully we'll be getting that in game as well. If you come around to the back, you have these huge exhaust pipe as signature to the Audi RS models, and yeah, just a little Audi RS5 badge there, and a retractable wing that comes up once you go above a certain speed. So let's jump in here and quickly check out the interior. And there she roars to life. If we take a little look around this interior, very nicely detailed, all the gauges work, even the radio works. As you can see, that changes the radio screen on there. Mirrors work just fine, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, that's all not too exciting. Now, I do want to give a little bit of a disclaimer. I am using the Redux texture mod pack, I think, yeah. And it changes some of the visuals of my game, so if this may look a slight bit different to what you're used to on your game, that's nothing weird. Yeah, we're just gonna get this party started, drive this thing around, see how it drives, so let's go. This thing is four-wheel drive, and has, there you can see it, there's the wing. This thing is four-wheel drive, and it drives pretty nicely, I think. Has good grips because of the four-wheel drive. Do some interior driving here. Oh crap.
That's dumb luck right there.
Now the sound inside of the cabin are a slight bit louder than they are outside of the cabin, but hey, that's fine. This thing has about a top speed of 200-ish. Keep in mind this doesn't resemble the way this doesn't resemble the way the car handles in real life, because the car does go rather quick in real life, so that's a big difference to it. So as you can see, this thing drives pretty nicely on its stock form. I like the retractable wing. Does have a pretty good damage model. As you can see, I just hit that car and look at the deformation in the body of this car. Doing pretty good, good amount of damage. As you can see to the front. Windows brake, all that kind of good stuff. Sometimes some of this stuff, some mods don't have it, so it's nice to that they have implemented that. Accidentally hit that person over there. As you can see, this thing is pretty controllable. Sticks to the road rather nicely. Doesn't really lose traction that much, and it's quite a delight to drive. Pretty quick by default, and I can't drive for crap apparently. As you can see, this thing is pretty nice to drive with by default. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a nice spot where we can try out, see if we can customize it, and I'll be right back with you. Alright guys, we've arrived at the, in my opinion, perfect location for this kind of thing. We've arrived at Michael's house, as you guys might know, in this very fancy neighborhood. I think the RS5 is right on its spot with this this little place. So yeah, let's jump straight into the tuning. Now I am going to be using Menu Customs, which is a trainer which you can do a whole bunch of stuff with. Because the regular garage does not show all of the options for this car. So we're going to jump straight into this and see what kind of customization we can do. Now what I always like to start off with is changing the wheels. Now I do already have some nice wheels in mind, but we'll quickly scroll through these. Now I do have a different pack for wheels as well, which adds some real life rims. So as you can see, these are some Rotty forms, and we have all different kind of wheels and brands and chrome and black and painted, all that kind of good stuff. Now the rims I have set my mind to are some Vossen ones, so let's quickly find these in this list. I'm always a huge sucker for those wheels. Let's see. There they are. These are definitely my favorite wheels in the game. Now I don't want them red, but we'll stick them to colored so we can change them in the menu. So if we go into the menu and we change this to something else. Now I think I would like this. Yeah, that's perfect. We found the perfect little candidate for that. So we're done with the wheels. Let's head on then. So we have a spoiler. Now we have two options. We have the retractable wing, which you just saw, and we have a fixed one. The fixed one just doesn't come up at certain speeds. It doesn't do anything at all. I'm a pretty big fan of the air wing, so we're gonna keep it that way. Now we come to the fun bit, the front bumper. Now as you can see, this currently has lots of pieces of chrome and that kind of stuff. So we'll see what kind of options we have. Now this first one is interesting because this allows you to change the grille to a default Audi A5 bumper. Not a huge fan of that. Why would you do that since you already have the RS5? You might as well show it with the badges. This one adds a splitter to the front. Not a race car, not going to do that. I am a big fan of this blacked out one, which you couldn't really see due to the sunlight, but as you can see, this is completely blacked out. Looks pretty good. We're going to go with that. Now rear bumper wise, the sun is kind of getting in my eyes. We have a stock Audi A5 bumper, which I don't like, and some kind of crazy bumper with side vents and very big exhaust tips and a diffuser. No, we're not going to do that. This thing is not a race car. We're just going to leave it the way Audi intended it to. Gonna make the roof black, so will the mirrors, so that will look be a nice offset, I think. Of course we're gonna upgrade the engine, the brakes, the transmission, the horn. We don't want to change. We're gonna lower it down, slam it to the ground, add some armor to it. Where now comes the fun part. We want to change the paint. Now I've already put some thought into this, and I am a pretty big fan of this bluish silver. Looks pretty good. Kind of boring, but I think the black wheels offset it nicely. So I think we have the wheels. The secondary color just changes the what do you call it? The wing mirrors and the roof. So we're gonna keep that black to make it that little nice offset with the wheels. Now, thing we have left is a turbo and some xenon lighting. Now I do want to change the plates on this. I'm not a huge fan of the Yankton one. We want to give it this nice and simple, matches the paint job of the car pretty nicely. As you can see, the sun right now is very beautiful. That's because of the Redux mod. If I think of it, I'll try to include a link to the mod in the description down below. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna find a nice road which we can drive on, and we'll see how this thing handles. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I found a great road for this, very cornery, nice. This is usually the road I take my cars on if I want to test them. Now this first part is kind of tricky because there are a lot of obstacles sticking out, so I don't want to try to fuck up and hit my car straight into a wall. It is becoming kind of nighttime, but I don't mind it that much. This car cut nicely in front. We can fly right past this. Now, things I have to say about the car. This thing shifts very quickly. You can even hear the upshifts by the click. Grip's even better than it did before. Now you can definitely hear that big turbo on there. So I'll fly straight up this road. If you're ever looking for a nice road which we can take your cars on, test them out. This is usually one of my recommendations. Now, as you can see, this thing just sticks to the ground perfectly. Very good car. Downside with this, only seats 2 people. So if you want to use this in your storyline when you have multiple people in your car, you can, but it won't really work. Now, GTA 5 is a beautiful game. Just look at this. Look at the scenery. Driving in my nice, way too expensive Audi and taking up some nice twisty roads. If you can see, this thing handles really good. Sticks nicely. And this is all, we're almost at the end of our little road. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this thing off-road and see how it does over there. So we have a road up here. It's always curious to see how this goes. This car isn't made for off-roading, and you can definitely see that by the speeds it achieves. Only manages to hit 150 kilometers an hour off-road, but hey, you're not supposed to take this thing off-road, so I'll take it. So if you ever need to go off-road with this thing, it can handle it. Due to its 4-wheel drive, it still manages to keep its grip and not slide around all over the place. Yeah, all around I'd say this is a golden one. If you want to download this mod, be sure to check out the video description. I've put a link down there so you guys can check out this mod for yourself. Any other car mods or other mods you want me to try out, please do let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to make a video where you guys pick the mods you want me to try out. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this episode. So if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more of my GTA 5 or other game content, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Suggestions are always welcome. Until next time, guys, have a good one, and I'll talk to you in the next video.